We're bringing you all the insights from Flame 2018. With me now is Gregor Pett from Uniper Energy. Gregor, thank you very much for your time. I heard you talking in the main conference earlier, and you said it's going to be a volatile and interesting time. And I just wonder, your eyes have lit up as you hear those words, how you see the market going.
Yeah, hi Sasha, thanks for having me here for the interview. Indeed interesting, and I would stress that's the more the American sense of the word, not the British sense of the word. I think energy is an interesting place. So a lot of things changed. It's technologies, it's politics, and a lot of things going on. So it's indeed a very interesting place.
You also said volatile as well.
Yeah. I mean, volatility is not always a good thing, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. If you are positioned in the right way, you can actually benefit from volatility. You can help your customers to manage this volatility and risk manage their portfolios. And this is why I believe volatility is very interesting and also good for the business.
Who do you think will actually do quite well then out of volatility?
It's all the players that are flexible and that have a flexible asset base. So for example, we are developing a flexible portfolio out of our strong European midstream position, regas capacities, and an increasing LNG portfolio. It's small, but it's flexible. And we believe we can put that to good use for our customers and our partners in the markets.
What will you be doing with that LNG portfolio? Is that likely to grow or to stay as it is at the moment?
No, we definitely want to grow it. We want to grow it from a shipping perspective. We want to grow it on the asset base. We want to manage the portfolio in a flexible way together also with our partners.
Are you able to put any numbers on that or quantify that anymore?
It's very difficult to do, as I said in the presentation today, when exactly the market rebalances. That's dependent on a lot of developments, but and it also depends on how quick can you make this growth happen. But we are developing our numbers internally, but it's definitely set as a growth area for Uniper as a business.
And when do you think the market will rebalance? Are you prepared to put any sort of a timescale on that?
It's in the 2020s, I believe. I think it's less important exactly in which year it happens, because that is subject to a lot of changes and a lot of decisions by other counterparties. It's more important that we prepare to be flexible. So if it happens a year earlier, that we are ready for that, and if it happens a little bit later, that also we can manage our portfolio along these developments.
You were talking in your presentation earlier about the growth in Asia, and you characterised that as a huge surprise. And I just wonder where you think, or whether you have considered where the next surprise will be, not necessarily geographically, but maybe somewhere within the industry.
Yeah, I think the growth in Asia as such was less of a surprise. It was the way it happened in 2017, where everybody was expecting more volumes to come to Europe earlier. So, yeah, I think surprises can be everywhere. Surprises can be in politics. If you look what's going on in the Middle East, that's full of surprises, and not all of these surprises are pleasant ones. Also, with regard to which are the next projects which will really come online and the FIDs people are going to take. Then on the energy policy side in the big countries like China, that's always good for a surprise. So clearly something which needs to be watched very closely.
Yeah, I just wonder, you mentioned politics a few times now, and you know that is in many cases the great unknown, and I just wonder how you can prepare for that, or what is on your radar, and what are you considering at the moment?
Yeah. Energy is a political business. That's true all around the world. You can only prepare if you watch closely what's going on, if you try to be very close and understand what's going on and prepare different scenarios. So even if something happens, then you know what to do in this situation and don't waste a lot of time by changing your approach.
Particular areas that you are keeping a close watch on at the moment?
Well, all the growth areas basically, North America of course, then the Middle East, but also East Asia. We should not forget on the other hand that also Europe can be surprising sometimes, so we must not forget what's going on in Europe.
All right, well let's talk about Europe. How does Europe fit into the market for you?
Yeah, we are, of course, Europe is our home base, and we are a very strong gas player in Europe. We have been so for many years, which puts us in a position that we can use that home base to optimize the portfolio. So to give you an example, if someone wants to send a cargo to Europe, we can divert that because of our strong European base. We can make up for that and send it elsewhere in the world, which we can therefore help others to globally optimize and use our strong European home base as a basis for exactly that.
You haven't mentioned storage. Yes, and I just wonder sort of, your thoughts on storage, whether it's maybe too regulated or, just how you see the importance of storage panning out.
It's really very important. For us, it's a part of this strong home base. We have a very sizable storage portfolio in Germany and Austria, but because the market is so connected, we can use that in general to optimize our European portfolio. Regulation is quite diverse across Europe. For some business opportunities, that of course doesn't help that it's so diverse. It's not a big problem of ours, but of course more harmonized approach to regulation across Europe of course would be helpful for many business development ideas.
When you were talking about political surprises and you mentioned Europe, I'm wondering what you think about the impact that Brexit will have, maybe on regulation, changing regulation, or the flow of energy. I don't know. What are you factoring in?
Well, could be, but the question is, will Britain really want to be separated energy-wise from the continent? And that's a question mark. I don't think it would be a good idea, so let's wait what happens.
You're taking a step back and waiting to see what happens.
It's what you sometimes need to do, but prepare for all outcomes.
Gregor, thank you very much for speaking to us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sasha.